Namaste and welcome back to the video course on watershed management. In the module 1, in the second lecture, we will discuss about the watershed management and stakeholders analysis. So, in the first lecture, we were discussing about the concepts of watershed, then watershed approach, then various necessities of watershed management, principles of watershed management, and we have seen one case study also. So, in today's lecture, the topic is on watershed management and stakeholder analysis. So, the topics covered include watershed system, watershed management, objectives, components and benefits, watershed management multiple use, multidisciplinary approach, stakeholder analysis, role of stakeholders in watershed management development plans, people's participation, and finally, we will discuss a case study. Some of the important keywords related to today's lecture are watershed management objectives, development plans, multidisciplinary approach, stakeholder analysis, and people participation. So, we were discussing the watershed management as the management of the area, the so called watershed in a scientific way. So, in a sustainable way. So, within that context, the main goal of the watershed management is a integrated approach of the total resources available in the watershed. So, the goal is the watershed system in an integrated way. So, that way we have various objectives and then we have got various resources within the watershed. So, like with respect to the environmental objectives, so we will be looking to the various resources, various environmental standards and the conservation goals we are setting for the watershed. And then we will be coordinating the various aspects of the watershed resources and watershed management plans. So, we will be having a coordinated framework. So, that is the way which we go for the watershed approach. So, in this there will be we will be coordinating the various natural resources and then we will be coordinating the with respect to various tools and the resources available within the watershed. So, within with this perspective, we will be now looking to the various watershed management practices. So, there can be the various watershed management practice can be at various levels. So, the watershed management can be we can formulate various plan for the total country or for the state concerned. So, that way we can have a state-wide framework. So, we can set the various management plans, various objectives and then various necessities etc., on a state-wide framework. So, that can be put under the state rules and regulations and then whenever a development scheme, a watershed development or watershed management schemes is implemented, that guidelines can be followed. And then second can be within a regional framework. So, regional framework means that is suitable for a particular region. So, when we consider a river basin or when we consider particular district or say particular say South India, North India or say the hilly regions. So, like that. So, its requirements say the as far as within the perspective of watershed management, the requirements may be different. So, that way we can have a regional framework for the say particular region is concerned. And then the next say level can be local watershed say within the social, environmental and sustainable framework. So, this say here, so this is formulated maybe for a district or maybe for various blocks or for various villages depending upon the need. So, the third one is the local watershed within the social framework. for that particular area is concerned. And then finally, it can be individual watershed for the particular watershed is concerned. So, this can be this depends upon the various requirement of that particular watershed, various characteristics of the particular watershed. So, that way as far as watershed management at different levels are concerned, we can have statewide plans, we can have regional plans, or we can have local watershed plans, or we can have plans for the particular watershed is concerned. So, now, so within this perspective what we have discussed so far, let us see what are the important objectives of watershed management. So, some of the important objectives are listed here. So, first one is wise use of soil, water and vegetation for optimum production. So, with the minimum hazards to natural resources. So, when we discuss the particular area of that means particular watershed. So, we have to see the aspects, various aspects of the land. So, that means we have to see the land use, and then what kind of soil is available, and how much water is available, the quantity and quality the water available, then how much is the forest cover for the particular area. So, by considering all these aspects, the objective will be the optimal biomass production with a minimum hazard to the various natural resources. Then a second objective can be the industrial utilization and development of lands. So, here we conserve water so that we can have more income, and then reduce the drought. So, as we can see that some of the problems concerned for a watershed is recurrence of droughts, and during the rainy season recurrence of floods. So, when we look into the watershed management within a holistic approach, so say the various utilization is concerned. Say if we are looking to the industrial utilization, we have to develop the land in such a way that we will be getting more income, and then within the watershed we have to conserve the water, and then reduce floods and droughts. And then third objective can be the prevention and retardation of floods through construction of reservoirs. So, as I mentioned, flooding can be a big problem for many of the watersheds. So, we can have various management practices like a construction of check dams, construction of levees, etc. So, that we can reduce the flooding problem for the considered watershed. Then fourth objective can be provision of adequate water for agricultural, industrial and domestic purpose. So, we can say as far as the watershed is concerned, for the total utilization of water is concerned, there are various uses like domestic use, then agricultural use, industrial use, etc. So, we have to see that optimum utilization of the available water resource. So, that can be another objective. Then some other objectives like abatement of soil, water and air pollution. So, of course, the pollution is a major problem in many areas. So, we have to see that the land is not polluted, the available water is not polluted, and due to any industrialization or its effect, air is not polluted. So, this can be another objective for the watershed management plans. Then some other objectives like creation of recreational facilities. So, for the particular area is concerned, we can construct lakes or ponds, so that we can have the facility of recreation. And then also say the objective can be the utilization of the natural resources. So that we can have improved agricultural practices and better production from the land. And then finally, in overall way, the final objective will be the total say the upliftment for the concerned area with respect to the flora and fauna, and then of course the people concerned. So, that will be the objective with respect to the socio-economic aspect of the watershed is concerned. So, now we have seen the various objectives of the watershed management practices. Then here in the next slide we will see the the components of watershed management. So, there can be two important components as far as watershed practices are concerned. One is foundation practices and second one is improved production practices. So, say both can come together as far as watershed management practices are concerned. So, the foundation practices include the various measures which we undertake to have say better resources utilization and then optimal production as far as various the biomass and other aspects are concerned. So, as far as the foundation practices are concerned, here I have listed various points. So, like engineering and biological measures for soil and water conservation, then contour farming, diversion burns, grades of vegetative burns, terraces, check dams, etc. So, here you can see that various structures are constructed in some watersheds. So, this can be some of the foundation practices. Then water storage structures. So, just like construction of a lake or a construction of a check dam and then nalla burns, then gully plugs, then percolation tanks, etc. Then alternate land uses in the non-arable lands such as afforestation and plantation of say as for fodder and fuel trees are concerned. So, these are some of the foundation practices. So, when we say make plans for the watershed management, so these foundation practices are very essential for the better utilization of the land, better utilization of the available water and then various other resources are concerned. Then next one is the improved production practices. So, if we are having better foundation practices, then based upon this we will be looking for improved production practices. So, some of the aspects as far as production practices are concerned such as in situ water conservation, then agricultural water management, then improved crop and cropping system. So, these are some of the improved production practices which we can look into the plans when we prepare the watershed management plans. So, then you can see that as far as foundation practices are concerned, we have to invest a lot of money and resources to the watershed. So, we need financial support and assistance from the government, whether it is state or local governments and then also the various NGOs are concerned. Then as far as the production practices are concerned, this depends upon the people participation. So, you can see that say the watershed is concerned, its area is concerned, they will be holding by farmers say within the watershed. So, to have better agricultural management or better production is concerned. So, people within that watershed should cooperate within the say the watershed management plans are concerned. So, the improved production practices generally depends upon the people participation. So, now we have seen the various practices, various components of watershed management practices. So, now say within this perspective we will see what are the important benefits which we can get through watershed management. So, some of the important benefits are listed here, say as we already discussed earlier. So, we can have better control of flood and droughts and then reduce erosion and sediment production and then maximize productivity per unit area, time and water, then increase crop intensity, utilization of marginal or wastelands through alternate land use systems, ensure ecological balance, then maximize combined income, stabilize income in unfavorable conditions, and finally, social upliftment. So, there are number of benefits as listed here as far as watershed management practices are concerned. So, some of the important benefits is like optimal utilization of the available resources, so that we can increase the income for the people are concerned, then we can increase the forest area, we can have better vegetative cover, we can reduce the soil erosion, and then we can have better quality of water and sufficient quantity of water. So, these are some of the important benefits as far as any watershed management plans are concerned. So, now we will see the say there can be various strategies as far as watershed management is concerned. So, two important strategies generally coming to watershed management include preventive strategies and restorative strategies. So, these are the two important strategies when we look into watershed management practices. So, preventive strategies means preserve the existing sustainable land use strategies. So, you can see that most of the watershed is concerned as far as natural watershed is concerned, say there will not be much soil erosion, then the land use will be in a better way, and then sufficient vegetative cover will be there. So, in the preventive strategies what we are trying to do is that none of these good aspects of the existing what is existing within the watershed, we are trying to preserve those aspects for the sustainable land use and then sustainability of the total resource is concerned. So, then second one is the restorative strategies. So, generally restorative strategies are designed to overcome identified problems. So, each watershed, as we have seen earlier, watershed can have various deterioration problems. So, its consequence also we have seen in the first lecture. So, based upon that, for the particular watershed is concerned, there can be special type of or specific type of problems. So, in the restorative strategies we are making various plans to overcome identified problems. So, for each watershed is concerned, it can be either the soil pollution or water pollution or non-availability of sufficient water or the lack of sufficient forest. So, like that for particular watershed is concerned, particular problems can be there. So, in the restorative strategies what we are trying to do is we will be concentrating on that specific problems, and then we will be trying to overcome those problems. So, say for example, so we can restore the availability of to restore conditions once problems occur. So, that is what we are trying in this. So, the example can be we can go for water harvesting structures, so that there will be some better availability of water. So, that can be restorative strategies, and then when we construct various structures, we can also reduce the soil erosion problems. If in the watershed soil erosion is a major problem, then we can restore the soil erosion problem by constructing various structures. So, in most of the watershed management plans, when we look in a holistic way, this we will be implementing some preventive strategies, and then we will be implementing some restorative strategies. So, depending upon the area is concerned. So, watershed management, there will be most of the time there will be two strategies coming together. So, it will be routine to go for preventive strategies, and then generally depending upon the area there will be some restorative strategies which we will be aiming at for the watershed management. So, generally the key to watershed management is preventive strategies, the various preventive strategies which you will be setting as far as the watershed management is concerned. So, now we have seen the various strategies we are adopting for the watershed management. So, you can see that for the watershed is concerned, there are various resources which will be managing within the perspective of watershed management. So, there will be for the given resources multiple uses will be there, and then multiple stakeholders will be also coming to picture. So, here in this slide you can see the watershed management within the perspective of multiple uses. So, aim of multiple use is to manage natural resources with the most beneficial combination for present and future uses. So, the available resources for the present use and for the future use we put for the most beneficial combination. So, then the watershed management can be resources oriented. So, there we look for the production capabilities of various natural resources. So, it can be either land or water or other resources. Then this as far as multiple use is concerned, it can be also area oriented. So, this depends upon the dynamics of local, regional and national demands. So, what kind of demand is there, say for example, agricultural practices are concerned, whether the region requires whether rice or wheat or vegetable. So, accordingly the farmers can plan the various say agriculture practices accordingly. So, now here in this slide I have put a table where the various resources are listed and then its products within the perspective of multiple use are listed. So, say for example, water is concerned, we use water for irrigation, municipal, industrial and recreation purposes, and then timber or the forest is concerned, we look for pulp production, then uses for wood, fuel and then recreation purposes. Then forage is concerned, say we will be looking within the perspective of livestock, wildlife, recreation. Then wildlife is concerned, say it's the consumption as far as wildlife is concerned, then its recreation and other facilities. Then minerals are concerned, say what type of mineral is available within the watershed, then say what kind of uses can be there depending upon, say for example, stone or sand. So, various uses we can put and then accordingly we can go for the management measures as far as the watershed is concerned. So, we have seen the watershed management is concerned, various uses will be there for each resources or depending upon the resource or depending upon the area. So, now when we look into watershed management practices, actually it is a multidisciplinary approach. So, various discipline will be coming together, so that we can have better watershed management plans. So, here some of the important aspects here I have listed. So, first one is starting from the scoping and data gathering. So, let us assume that we are going for watershed management plans for a particular watershed. So, then first one is we have to identify what are the important problems as far as that watershed is concerned. So, then accordingly, according to strategies, whether we have to go for restorative strategies or preventive strategies. So, then we have to define the scope as far as the watershed plans or watershed management plans are concerned. So, scope has to be defined and then accordingly we have to gather the data. So, for this we need say the experts as far as planners, say like planners, scientists, then public outreach experts, stakeholders within the watershed. So, all these people have to come together to have to define better scope and then data gathering is concerned. So, then next stage as far as watershed management plan is concerned, assessment. So, we have already put the scope and then we have gathered the data. So, then we have to assess which way we have to go for the various plans. So, say whether we are going for various kinds of land management plans or water resource management plans. So, accordingly we have to assess the system and then accordingly we have to make plans. So, as far as assessment is concerned, so ecologists can come together, hydrologists can come together and then with the help of engineers and economists. So, we can define appropriate plans and then we can assess the various problems or various issues are concerned. And then next stage is priorities and targets. So, you can see that for any area for as far as watershed management plan is concerned, the available money to spend or the resources to be utilized will be limited. So, we have to prioritize. So, what is the first thing to be done, whether it is to go for the say drinking water supply or to construct wells or to construct check dams or go for recreational facilities. So, what kind of priority? So, that depends upon the area, then depends upon the needs of the people. So, here we have to prioritize and then put the targets. So, the first target, second target, etc. So, here the first and foremost people will be the stakeholders of the watershed, and then comes the officials, scientists, planners and engineers. So, then finally, by considering all these things we can develop watershed management plans. So, here we develop various plans for the watershed management. So, there we can utilize the skills of planners, then of course, stakeholders, then the officials concerned, then scientists, engineers. So, all these people will come together, and then finally, say we can select the particular plan, and then we can go for implementation. So, implementation is very important aspects. So, there we need the resources, we need the money, and then the implementation is concerned, the of course, people participation is one of the important aspect. So, that we have already discussed in the first lecture itself. So, there the stakeholders will be coming to picture, then the regulators. So, the while implementing, we have to see that it is implemented properly. So, regulators will be coming to picture, then technical support from various agencies, then experts, all will come together. So, like this, when we go for watershed management plans, it is say multidisciplinary approach. So, various experts have to come together and then make appropriate plans as far as the watershed management is concerned. So, now we have seen that stakeholders are very important, or the people participation is very important in the success of any of the watershed management. So, now in the next slide we will discuss about the stakeholders, what is the concept of stakeholder, and then what is so called stakeholders analysis. So, stakeholders we can define as any group of people, organized or unorganized, who share common interest or stake in a particular issue or system. So, within the perspective of watershed management, we can see that the stakeholders mainly will be mainly the people staying in that watershed area, and then of course, the various government agencies working in that area. So, these are the stakeholders as far as a particular watershed is concerned. So, this can be, the stakeholders can be a group of people. So, it can be either organized or unorganized. Then so, the common interest is here as far as the overall development of the watershed or better management plans. So, that is the common interest, and then so for the particular management plans are concerned, people are coming together, or the stakeholders are coming together, so that we can have better watershed management plans. So, so this is the concept of stakeholders. So, now as far as watershed management is concerned, here we will discuss the importance of stakeholders. So, as we have already seen, people participations or the stakeholders participation is very important. So, stakeholders involvement is the key aspect in the success to implement development activities. So, as far as watershed management is concerned, we are looking to the development of the area in a holistic way. So, to implement the development activities, stakeholders involvement is very important. Otherwise, we cannot say achieve success as far as the watershed management is concerned. Then second one is involvement of stakeholders helps dovetailing of funds, supply of goods, and human resources required for project implementation. So, as far as implementation is concerned, so how to get the funds, and then how to utilize the funds in an effective way, and then human resources are required for the implementation of the project. So, all these stakeholders involvement is very important. And then third one is involvement of stakeholders leads to a confidence building process for community based projects. So, you can see that as far as watershed management is concerned, it is definitely a community based project. So, the community has to get involved in the project. So, as stakeholders, we have to develop their confidence. That means, this particular project, as far as watershed management plans are concerned, this particular project is implemented for the betterment of the area, betterment of the society, betterment of the people. So, that way the confidence level should be increased, so that people will be participating in the project, so that we can succeed in the implementation and maintenance of the particular watershed management plans are concerned. So, now various scientific tools are available as far as for the stakeholder analysis. So, before going for the preparation of watershed management plans and implementation, it is better to go for a stakeholder analysis. So, that there are specific methodologies available in literature as far as stakeholder analysis is concerned. Some important aspects are listed here, but we will not go into all the discussion on the stakeholder analysis will be very limited to the people participation and their say the coming together as far as the watershed management is concerned. Only that way only we will be discussing here the stakeholder analysis. So, stakeholder analysis is generally used to generate knowledge about relevant actors to understand their behavior, intentions, interrelations, agendas, interest and influence and resources they bring to bear on decision making process. So, this is the main motto of the stakeholder analysis. So, stakeholder analysis generate knowledge, then say the various intentions or depending upon the scope, the resources should be mobilized and then to be done it properly. So, the main motto of the stakeholder analysis to generate knowledge about the relevant actors and to say to have a better decision making process. So, then stakeholder analysis can be also used as a tool for policy formulation and implementation. So, depending upon the various norms as far as watershed management is concerned, we can go for the policy formulation and then how we can implement it. And then say stakeholder analysis developed to deal with the challenges of multiple objectives and interests. So, we have already seen that as far as watershed management is concerned, there can be multiple objectives. So, to meet all those objectives, all the interests, so we have to analyze the roles and then the activities of various stakeholders. So, a stakeholder analysis very essential in preparation of a better watershed management practices. So, now let us see here in this slide what are the important steps as far as stakeholder analysis is concerned. So, these important steps are listed here. So, first is we have to identify the stakeholders within the watershed. So, that means stakeholder identification. Then development of relevant issues and their characterization. So, this depends upon the area, depends upon the watershed and then the objectives as far as the watershed management is concerned. Then discussion with the regional and local subject matter experts. So, it can be formal discussion or a non-formal interviews. So, through this we can achieve we can have better plans, we can develop metrics as far as the various issues are concerned. Then the next step can be focused group discussion. So, say the various issues like land management or water management or the other resource management, we can get the experts or get the stakeholders and then we can have a group discussion, and then from that group discussion depending upon need we can formulate the various steps as far as watershed management is concerned. Then next can be semi-structured interviews. So, the stakeholders and then come up with the various solutions as far as various problems are concerned. And finally, we can develop an influence interest matrix. So, depending upon the various stakeholders needs, then various objectives set, we can develop an influence interest matrix. So, that can give an idea for the total development plans as far as the watershed is concerned. So, now with this background as far as stakeholders analysis and then the steps for stakeholders is concerned. So, let us look into the identification of various stakeholders. So, in this slides you can see here the the various levels of stakeholders are listed, then examples of stakeholders are listed, then the various issues are also listed. So, on international level, so you can see that say as far as various say within the perspective watershed management or river basin scale management, so various agencies are the stakeholders, international agencies like World Bank funds or IMF funds for the various watershed management activities. So, international agencies will be coming, and many times foreign governments may give support to various agencies through NGOs or through direct government. So, the international level the foreign governments can be a stakeholder. Then the issues to be generally they will be looking into is say maybe climatic regulations for the particular region is concerned, then biodiversity conservation, then afforestation, etc. So, depending upon the area, depending upon the needs. So, the level can be international, and then the stakeholders can be international agencies or foreign governments. So, then national level is concerned, of course, national governments, and then of course, state governments as far as the various states are concerned, and then various NGO groups can be there. So, these people can be the stakeholders. So, like the various issues which may come as far as watershed management is concerned, like forest development or timber extraction, then tourism development or recreational facilities, or the hydropower production or the agricultural management. So, like that the national level stakeholder identification and then issues can be there. The level can be regional. So, it can be either particular region is concerned, a groups of districts or particular district is concerned. The examples of stakeholders can be forest departments, regional authorities, district authorities, etc. So, here say for example, the issues can be the forest productivity, soil loss and degradation. So, this can be some of the issues. Then local stakeholders are concerned. So, the particular watershed is concerned. So, the various communities involved, then various people involved within that particular area. So, then human groups are concerned, or the various say user groups are concerned. So, that way say for example, the issues can be protection of the available water resource, and then say rotation of grazing as far as cattle management is concerned, and then forest utilization, and then cultural sites, etc. So, these are the some of the ways where we identify the stakeholders, and then the concerned levels, and then various issues as far as the stakeholders are concerned. So, now so we have seen the stakeholders issues, and then we have seen the various levels of stakeholders. Then we have to identify the various issues as far as the watershed is concerned. So, we can have developmental issues and then methods. So, some of the developmental issues and methods are listed here. So, as far as the watershed development plans are concerned, we can look into cross cutting system and stakeholder interests, then multiple uses and uses of the various resources as far as the watershed management is concerned, then subtractability and temporal trade offs. So, between the resources or between the areas, say how that trade offs taking place. So, and then poverty alleviation, and then to improve the underrepresented people. So, these can be some of the important developmental issues as far as the stakeholder analysis is concerned. Then as far as stakeholder analysis is concerned, various methodologies are there. So, some of the important methodologies are listed here. We can focus on various groups, like focus group discussion, like people's opinion can be sought. Then we can interact with various groups and gives that may give data and insights. So, like the women group or the water user group or the farmers group. So, like that we can discuss the various issues with the groups. So, that methodology through the stakeholder analysis can be achieved. Then second can be semi structured interviews. So, this can be about natural resources and then various problems and solutions which we will be looking for that particular problems. So, we can go to the particular stakeholders and then interview them and then get the ideas and then collect those ideas, and then we can get the solutions for the various problems are concerned. Then there can be, depending upon the interest for various stakeholders, we can develop an influence matrix. So, as we have seen, various stakeholders are there, they will have various interests. So, whenever the common interest is coming there, the stakeholders influence on various issues can be listed, so that we can understand the relative interests, and then we can have influence matrix, so that influence of the stakeholders can be understood through this process. So, these are some of the important methodologies which we adopt as far as the stakeholder analysis is concerned. So, various agencies like United States Environment Protection Agency and other agencies have developed various approaches as far as the stakeholder analysis is concerned. It can be for watershed management, it can be for say to sort out the water pollution problems or groundwater pollution remediation, etc. So, the US EPA approaches, some of the approaches are listed here. So, the stakeholder as per US EPA, the stakeholder involvement is very essential to the development of the watershed or the pollution abatement, etc. So, generally as per United States Environment Protection Agency is concerned, they use two types of approaches. First one is traditional simulation and decision making approach. So, here this approach is based on command and control. So, the stakeholders involvement is not from the beginning. So, most of the decisions are made by the concerned agencies, and then put those decisions to the people, and then further get their opinion on that, and then come up with or finalize the plans. So, this is the first method. And the second method is so called decision support system for stakeholder involvement. So, here actually this starts from the beginning. So, the stakeholders are involved from the beginning. So, this involves the stakeholders to make management decisions and guides the stakeholders through the decision making process. So, various needs of the stakeholders will be analyzed, and then accordingly the plans will be made. So, definitely there will be a good say as far as the stakeholders are concerned. So, multiple options will be accessible. Say for example, US EPA has developed a system called WARMF. So, that means Watershed Analysis Risk Management Framework. So, to deal with the watershed problem or watershed management problems or water pollution problems, as per US EPA they have developed this system. So, this system include various modules like a data module, then an engineering module, then a knowledge module, and these modules interact together. So, that finally there will be a decision support system or so called DSS. So, within the framework of this DSS, the stakeholders interact, and then finally a system will be developed in this second approach. So, these kinds of the decision support system, it will be very useful as far as the stakeholders analysis and stakeholders involvement as far as the particular system is concerned. So, now say for the stakeholders analysis, a roadmap is listed here. So, just as we discussed like what US EPA use. So, the various steps include say first organize as far as the needs and as far as the what we are looking for in the particular analysis, then develop a work plan. Then next step is identify, say if it is water quality issues, then identify the water quality issues, then learn about river basins. So, particular river basins concerned, study about that river basin, then formulate the various alternatives, then we do an analysis called performance analysis, and finally, we can the stakeholders can come with the various consensus. So, here a particular graphical user interface is developed by this US EPA is shown here. So, various issues can be listed like this, and then finally, we can involve all the stakeholders, and then stakeholders opinion can be sought. So, now we have seen the stakeholder analysis in watershed management plans, and then you can see that stakeholders involvement is very important in watershed management plan. So, that way as I mentioned earlier also, people participation is if it is there from the beginning in the development plans and then implementation phase, then people involvement will be very much there, and then the system will be maintained properly, and a sustainable system can be developed. So, within the perspective of people participation management is concerned, the sustainability of watershed management program is not possible if the people are bypassed in planning and decision making processes. Then there is definitely there is a role of project implementation agencies, but these agencies should interact with the concerned people, and then the particular plan should be made, and then community organizations and NGOs also can play a major role. So, these agencies should make efforts to ensure that people have control over the entire process. So, that is, if you analyze the any successful watershed management projects, then we can see that when these projects are done like that, then the project has been succeeded in all the sense. So, the entire process starting from planning, implementation, including financial and technical monitoring and evaluation, people participation is very important. So, the people participation is concerned, we say we will be looking as far as the promotion of sustainable economic development for the particular area is concerned, then optimum utilization of land, water, and vegetation to mitigate the adverse effects of droughts and floods for the particular watershed is concerned, then provide employment and local capacity building to generate income, so that total upliftment takes place. Then restore ecological balance through community participation. So, one of the important aspect in watershed management is ecological sustainable development. So, we can achieve ecological balance through people participation, then improving living conditions of the poorer through more equitable resource distribution. So, these are some of the important aspects as far as people participation in any watershed management plans are concerned. So, within this perspective, so here say for example, say a particular a block diagram is put here, how the various stakeholders can come together, and then how the people participation is possible within the watershed management perspective is concerned. So, the watershed development committees can be formed, and where various villages for the particular watershed will be interacting, and then there can be various groups like water users group, self-help group, then human thrift and credit group. So, like that, and then of course, in this the project implementation authorities will be overall coordinators, and then the NGOs or who are controlling the particular watershed management plans are will be coordinating these aspects, and these various things, various issues or various system is concerned. Then there can be community organizers, and then various teams. So, all those people will be coming together as far as the watershed management plans are concerned. So, various stakeholders come together, and then we can go for a successful watershed management plan as far as watershed management plans are concerned. So, in this say as we already discussed, the people can participate at various levels as listed here. It can be say for the natural resource mapping to collect the various data, and then social mapping. So, like the population of the area, their socio-economical aspects. Then village volunteers can be there to implement the project, and then we can meet with the people, and a participatory appraisal can be done. We can prioritize the options and then go for the implementations. So, now say whatever we have seen is the stakeholder analysis and then people participations. So, finally, before closing this lecture, we will have a brief discussion on a successful case where the people participation stakeholder analysis has been effectively utilized. So, the case study is on Jhabua watershed. So, this is Jhabua watershed is in Madhya Pradesh. So, this is the area. So, the total area is about 1800 square kilometer, average rainfall in the area is 750 millimeter per annum. And this area is concerned before the watershed management practices were implemented in 1990s and beginning of 2000. About 57% area was arable land and 16% notified as forest land. So, some of the important problems found for this area is economically among most backward regions in India. Forest cover was very sparse, then watershed was poor soil depth, classified as drought prone area, and socio-economic is concerned, most of the people were below poverty line. And then the area is concerned, there was used to be seasonal migration to nearby urban centers in search of jobs. So, these were some of the watershed related issues. And then some of the NGOs with the help of state government and central government came together to implement the watershed management plans in 1990s and 2000s. So, the development interventions were water harvesting for supplementary irrigation in the region, in the watershed, soil and water conservation activities, joint forest management, then community participation and local capacity building, women empowerment and water regulations. So, these were some of the development interventions put in this watershed. Then community participation and local capacity building was very much there in this particular watershed. So, people in Jhabua watershed involved in various development activities starting from conception, planning, financing and maintenance. Then they were very active in social mapping, resource mapping, then community organizers were available for all the activities. Then efficient utilization of the funds available, that was one of the important aspect of this project. About 10 to 15% is spent on only on administration, but 85 to 90% were used for the actual implementation of the project. So, as far as the implementation and then its effect is concerned, water regulation, forest management, various groups were formed. So, self regulation for community based watershed monitoring system, then local people developed a system for water management, then accounting uncertainties of rainfall and retaining the runoff from the watershed, sharing of water. So, that was according to the family size, location of fields close to source. Then water use priorities had been given, say like first is domestic use or life supporting system, then for agriculture and other purposes. So, as far as forest and grassland is concerned, they develop a social fencing system. So, that overall people participation was there in overall planning management. So, when this project was assessed in 2005, so what we observe is that about 25 to 30% the forest cover is improved to 25 to 30%. Then water availability improved considerably, say about 2 to 4 meter water level increase was there in selected wells. Then improved agricultural output, about 30 to 100% in for various crops output increase was observed. Then say even severe drought year, drought was not affected in this area. So, finally, there was no migration, the children go to school in this particular watershed, and women were very actively involved in all the project implementation and maintenance. So, finally, overall social and economic improvement has been achieved in this particular watershed. So, some of the important lessons learned in this case study is listed here. So, this is integration of appropriate technical and management measures, then successful technical aspects as far as say prioritization is concerned or implementation is concerned, and then appropriate stakeholder analysis for the particular watershed. Then people participations was very important in this particular case study, and then restoration of ecological balance through community, and then encouragement of available low cost affordable technologies for easy acceptance. So, this is these are some of the important lessons learned from the watershed, the successful case study of Jhabua watershed. So, for this lecture some of the important references used are listed here. So, finally, before closing this lecture, some of the tutorial questions. So, based upon the lecture, the topics discussed. First one is discuss the watershed management issues at different levels. Already we are discussed in detail. Then illustrate watershed management as a multidisciplinary approach. Then third one is discuss the US EPA approaches of stakeholder analysis. So, this already we are discussed, and then some self evaluation questions are also put here. So, first one is what are the important components of watershed management practices. What are the second question is what are the important benefits of watershed management. Then in stakeholder analysis discuss the developmental issues with examples. Then fourth question is illustrate stakeholder analysis within the perspective of people participation. So, all these things are discussed in this lecture. Finally, some assignment questions. What are the important objectives of watershed management? Then discuss watershed management within the perspective of multiple uses of resources. And third one is describe the watershed management strategies with examples. Fourth question, with the help of a case study, show the importance of stakeholder analysis in watershed management. Finally, one unsolved problem is also put. The question is, consider a hypothetical situation of canal water supply to for a village in India where water is drawn and regulated from medium sized irrigation tank to both upstream and downstream command areas. Draw various stakeholders, formal and informal, involved for it, their individual interests and interest influence metrics for them. So, you can do a complete analysis, a stakeholder analysis and their importance. So, formal stakeholders like government agencies, then various associations, then informal stakeholders can be farmers, community group, etc. So, with this this second lecture on this watershed management is over. So, the various issues discussed will be further elaborated in the other lectures. Thank you very much.